Hello, everybody. Welcome to Make It Monday. I'm Amy and Jim from Amy Sews, Amy Buckman Sew and Quilt. Jim teaches at the Original Sewing and Quilt Expos. So we're here just because we're here. It is Monday.
That's why we're here.
It's Monday.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie. So we're going to talk today about top stitching, right? Heavy top stitching, different threads, different needles, why you want to do that.
Yeah. What goes where?
Let's sound excited about it. So
Yay.
Pop in and say hello, where you're from. We want to know where you're at, what you're doing, what are you working on. Just there's
Hi, Fran.
Franny girl.
So why do we want to top stitch?
I think it really finishes things off nicely.
Yeah.
Right. Like whether it's go ahead.
And it like highlights details.
Yep. So sometimes we want to make quilt bindings disappear, but then sometimes it's nice to have that extra. Hemming your jeans is a heavier top stitch.
Yeah. And actually the better suits
have that beautiful hand pick.
Or they do like a heavier top stitch 1/4 of an inch away with a heavier thread.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit today about threads, top stitching needles. And I'm working today just on a, midline machine. It's a Brother PS500. So you don't need anything super special to pull this off. Let's see what we got. So
I like that one.
Happy Monday. Oh, that's so sweet, Nancy. Thank you.
Hi, Denise in Pittsburgh.
Jeanette got to meet us at the expo.
Yep.
Yeah, we took the Cleveland Expo. Jim just finished up last weekend. So Thursday we had 88 ladies. We took on a bus.
Yeah.
So
it was packed.
It was more than packed.
Yeah.
Friday it was packed.
It was like Friday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday was like Sardine City, pretty much.
Yeah, it was tight. It was overwhelming. I mean, it was nice because it was busy and people were shopping because we need that. So it was just Lake Forest, California.
Wow, hi Doris.
It's early. She just woke up on
Yeah.
Good. All right. So let's talk a little bit. So we're going to talk about threads, right?
Yeah.
So this is, what weight is this, James?
I think that was the 30 weight.
That's 40 weight.
That must be the 30.
30 weight. Yeah. So when we talk about weights of thread, it's like gauges of wire. The lower the number, the thinner it is. The higher the number, the thicker your thread. So the most, no. Oh, did I do backwards? Okay, you explain it, Jim.
Okay. Got it. On behalf of because if you think of needles, the lower the number, the thinner the needle, the higher the number, the thicker the needle.
Yes.
However, some man came up with the theory for the thread that the lower the number, the thicker the thread, the higher the number, the thinner the thread. It's just the opposite. That's why ladies did the needles and the guys did the thread.
I guess that's
just opposite.
Just how it works.
If a lady did it all,
it would all be like 1 through 10.
Yes.
It would make
sense.
Would make total sense, right? So let's talk about this is 12 weight. And it's kind of hard to see that in comparison to, what number is that?
4.
Do 4. So in comparison, you can see a little lighter than crochet cotton, but not much. This is probably the thickest thread you could get in your machine. And when I say that, a thread this heavy requires the biggest needle. And when I say, I don't want you to go get a 110, I don't want you to put a nail in your machine, right? That's why they make top stitching needles or even embroidery needles have larger eyes.
Yeah, it's more of an oval.
Right. So you don't have to put a size 16 needle in to use this thread. You want a bigger eye, not a bigger needle weight per se. And a lot of times top and bobbin is not going to happen here. Right? Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you either got to put it in your bobbin, regular thread on top and sew upside down, or put it in the top and lighter weight, regular thread, 50 weight thread. 50 weight is normal sewing weight thread.
Yeah.
Right. 40 weight is embroidery thread weight. So anyhow, but this is a 12 weight. This is as heavy as you're going to get. What is this? This is the 30, right? So crack this open. Probably should have done that prior to today, but that's all right.
And that's kind of like the color that they would have for top stitching on jeans.
Right, like a goldy color.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this next to the 12 so you can kind of see the difference. So you can see how much thinner it is. It's about half, right?
Yeah.
It's about half as thick. So a 30 weight thread, again, top stitching jeans, top stitching like more garments, like if you want a heavy look on a blouse or on a blazer or home deck, right? So it's a good weight for home deck. And then the 40 weight is the same weight as embroidery thread. Right. So that's easy to do. And then this is like a crochet cotton. Is that what they used to call crown pearl?
Pearl crown rayon?
Yeah, crown.
It's pretty close to pearl crown.
It's pretty similar. And again, some of these weights of threads are hard to find, right? There used to be like, if you go to a sewing machine dealer that sells serger thread, you'll find more heavier threads, decorative heavier threads than you would just like walking into Joann's or some place like that just has standard 50 weight thread.
That's why we shop our local dealer.
That's why we shop our local dealer, right? So let's talk a little bit about different types of top stitching. So can you see the rip? There we go. So you can see here, this is a triple stitch. And I'll show you what that is. That's the one that goes like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back and forth, right? The whole way, and a double stitch. And so what you need to do though, these have 2 threads in the eye of the needle. And to do that, that's very simple. You're going to take 2 spools of thread, hold them together, right? So there's 2 side by side. You're going to thread them identically at the same time through your machine. I don't say the only brand because I don't want to call anybody out.
Right.
But Fall Viking uses that split tension assembly. So you may have to put one on either side, depending on your machine. You're going to thread them identically, right? Both through the eyes of the needle. And no, you can't use your needle threader at this point because it's you'll bend your hook.
It's too thick.
Right. But when I have this 2 threads in my machine, the machine doesn't know that. So you do a little test sample and you're going to say, oh, is it looping? Is it not looping? You may or may not have to touch your tensions. Chances are you're not going to have to. But when the 2 threads are in here, I thought the red and black would be like the choice, right? To make it. Why can't I see it? We saw it a minute ago, right? Because
there we are.
We can see it a little bit.
There.
So I started out with a stitch length of 2, 2.5, 3.0. And you could see how jammed up it is down there. It looks kind of like a straight line. So I lengthened it. So this is a 4 at the very end. And I like that best.
Yeah, I think lengthening the stitch length looks better than standard stitch length. And
I think that's when you top stitch a garment, do you go, you don't stay at 2.5, right?
No, I usually go like to 3.5 to 4, like you do.
Right. And that is a tell when someone top stitches a garment.
If they're a home sewer or
if they're a home sewer, because the stitch length is too short, especially you see it around the neck on collars, they stay with that 2.5 and it's just too small. When you look, and even if you go into a resale store that has exquisite, expensive clothes, that's where you see your detail. Look at the collar, look at the cuffs, look at the top stitching, and then look at something you pick up at Walmart. Look at the collars, look at the cuffs. I mean, I wear Walmart clothes too, so I can't say nothing. But I'm just saying, when you're talking about when you're making something and you're putting the effort into it, you want that detail to be. And couture is the wrong word because you're probably the only one I know that even sews at that level. So, but you want to do the best you can to get the most from your top stitching.
And I do just like you said, because if I go garment shopping, I usually turn it inside out when I'm in the store.
I would say Miss Joanne's here, Miss Joanne Banco. I love her. Similar to bobbin work. Let's do a show together in bobbin work. I would love to do bobbin work. It is so much fun. But I'm going to show you a simple braid, and a braiding technique. Oh, this doesn't have the foot pivot. So this machine doesn't have the automatic foot pivot. So this is going to be interesting. If your machine has that, life is good. If your machine doesn't, you're going to work for it. So I have 2. I'm just going to take this 12 weight thread, right? And I'm just going to take it. Whoops, I'm throwing thread at Jim. And you're going to do 2 strands of it. I just took it and folded it in half. And what we want to do is we want to look at this chain stitching. So that is that's a topical technique. I'm not putting this thread in my machine at all. Oh, the twisted braid.
Oh,
yes.
cool.
Yeah. So look how cool that is, right? So
And it's
even,
like so heavy looking.
yes, even embellishing stems with appliques
Oh
or,
yeah.
on the edge of your embroidery or something, it's just really nice to add to a satin stitch. We're going to do stack stitches. We're going to do a stack stitches class. It's going to be a free workshop, I think, on how to use your decorative threads and mirror imaging and lining things up.
Yeah.
We,
I could just see that like on a Chanel type of jacket if you
Yeah.
don't want a really wide braid. Just adding that detail.
Absolutely. So it doesn't matter what. I'm just have a straight stitch selected here. And again, I'm going to take that stitch length, probably like 3.5. As you play with it, you're going to get different results. If you do it every stitch, every other stitch.
So probably, and the size of the thread, I bet would make a difference too.
Absolutely. So I just have that loop in there. So I'm going to put my foot down. Oh, this is manual. Listen to
Well, some of us at home don't have a fancy machine.
I know, but I'm spoiled.
But I know where they can get one.
I know where they can get one too, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with my needle down. Okay. So you see, I just pulled the threads so they're in front. And I'm going to take 1 or 2 stitches, 1, 2, and I'm going to cross my threads. 1, 2, cross my threads back. I guess I didn't need it to pivot. It goes right under the foot. Good.
Yeah.
I panicked there for a minute. Oh, that went 3. So every time you do it, you'll get a little different look.
And I'm sure, like, if we had a fancier machine with a program memory, we could probably just program in 2 stitches.
We could do 2 stitches and stop. Exactly. So I'm not even, once you get your rhythm going, it's just a matter of crisscross, 2 stitches, crisscross, just pull it, tight to your needle. I don't know that it matters if one goes over and under. But you get the idea. And yes, it takes a long time, but you weren't top stitching 5,000 yards. Right. So it's going to be worth it.
But you're making something nobody else has. Right.
And you can see the difference. Every machine is different. So the stitch length was 3.5, which is too long. This was 2.5 and it was perfect. So you have to play to get the look you're looking for. And so I matched the fabric on the thread on my background, not my white thread. Yeah. Because you can see here, this it's kind of poking through a little bit. But that is a simple way to get perfect top stitching.
Yeah.
Or it's really a chain stitch. It's kind of a fake chain stitch because.
Yeah. And one that won't pull apart.
One that won't pull apart. Because I don't like doing things by hand.
The 4-letter word.
Hand.
Sorry.
Yes.
And
fun. Yes.
And Joanne said about using embroidery floss. I've done it with ribbon floss too.
Embroidery floss, silk ribbons.
Yes.
Anything you have that would fit, crochet yarn, baby yarn. It would all work the same thing. You're just going to adjust that stitch length to get the right distance. For it to work. Now, if you're using having your thread, if you have the automatic pivot where the presser foot comes up every time the needle goes down, that's bonus. If you don't, you can see I just powered through it.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
And you like a regular foot, or do you think an open toe foot?
An open toe applique would be the best thing because that way there's a channel underneath for it to go through. That's just a standard foot. And again, with Makeup Mondays, we don't want anybody to feel like they have to have
the highest end,
toppest end of everything, and you can accomplish so many great things. That's why I want to do that workshop on doing all the decorative stitches, how to stack them, mirror image them to create more impactful designs. Because if you don't have embroidery, but unfortunately, everybody comes in and goes, "Oh, I want a basic machine. I only straight stitch." Well, you still have to get the 900 decorative stitches that comes with the machine to get scissors or some basic functions on your machine.
If you want those little extras.
Right. And I have the Janome M17 is what I sew on. And again, I'm spoiled. So, we know that. It has a ton of stitches. But this little guy right here is the PS500. So it has a lot. It has probably 100 decorative stitches on it.
And the best thing too is electronic, so you have that needle down, needle up.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Needle down, needle up is a big saver, and then an applique foot. So we'll work on that next because we are. What are we doing? Oh, I'm going to a trade show at the end of the month, the first of the month, and then I'm hopping on a cruise ship for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, so you're gonna have gym all to yourself.
Sorry.
When's your next travel?
Next week.
Oh my gosh, where are you going?
New Orleans with the original Sun Quilt Expo.
Oh.
Last one of the spring. So if you missed all the other ones, you want to come there. So it'll be fun. And then I'm here for a little bit.
But it's outside New Orleans. It's not in the
Yeah,
video.
it's outside. Yeah.
Right. So if you're going to, like, I'm not a fan of New Orleans, so but it's outside and it's close to the airport, so it's easy to get through. So Joanne says,
yeah, you're right, Joanne, with all the different options of available with the machines and the pricing and everything. But I'm still a big stickler. Shop your local dealer, because it may look like a bargain in the big box store, but when it comes to support,
and if you're doing the big trade shows and you travel, call your dealer and say, hey, I'm in New Orleans, I'm looking at this machine, can you match the price, can you help me? And I appreciate those phone calls, because if I can do it, I will. And sometimes I can't, because it's something outrageous going on, because you want that service, you want that personal care after you purchase a machine.
Because if you need the help with that machine, where are you going to go? If you go back to the big box store, they're like, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway. So yes, Dor says it's kind of like couching. Yeah, I guess you could call it couching, except we're kind of braiding as we go.
And it was with a straight stitch, not a zigzag.
Right. And I did post on the Facebook page a couple posts ago. It's an old video of me. I'm a little chubbier, a little darker hair, making braids, where I twist the threads with the bobbins and then I sew them on wash away stabilizer. So it's on the YouTube channel and it's on Facebook.
It's good.
I think it's good. I'm a little
we're very critical
jaded,
of ourselves.
I guess. I'm very critical. So the YouTube channel, I'm starting to post some older videos that I've done when it was So Informed, not Amy So it's different.
Classic.
Anyway, I guess you can call it classic. So anyway, yeah, Jim's going to be on. So Joanne Banco, if you don't know what she does. So Tell Me Show. So look up Joanne Banco on Facebook. Look up Show Tell Me. So she does guests on, and we love her. She does a lot of work for her brother, and she's very supportive of all of us. Thanks for having Joanne. Yes, it was great. So I'll post a picture later if I took with her. She's like my celebrity.
Yeah,
we talked about celebrities, right?
And it was so wonderful to see her.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun when. It's weird and fun when people come up to you. Like, I was just walking the show incognito on Friday, and I was like, "Oh, I know you. I watch your videos." I'm like, "What my video?" It's. I appreciate it, but it's weird at the same time, because I think just what we do is what we do. It's not really,
And I can share too, because I hope she's not watching, because I was outside going to my car in Cleveland, and the wind blew, and my name tag flew over, and these ladies were there, and I said, "You ladies have a good time." So we used to have a great conversation, whatever. Then the wind blew, and my tag flew back over, and she went, "Oh, you're famous, and you're talking to me?"
I know.
Which is hysterical.
It's so crazy, but anyway.
But sewers had that common thread.
Right? Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we've got some big things happening for the fall. I can't announce it yet, but we're excited about it.
In the summer, too.
In the summer, yes. Yeah. So in July, we're going to be doing a I don't know what we're going to call it, but like a Christmas craft camp, where we're going to provide everything, but you may paint and Mod Podge, but then you're going to add embroidery to it. And then Jim has a weaving project, and you're going to make into a pot holder. So it's a little bit of everything. You can be a newbie, you can be experienced. It's going to be a 3-day event. You can hang out at a hotel. If you camp, there's a campground across the street, or if you want to dry camp, you're welcome to park your RV in the back parking lot if you are self-contained.
There's a little bit of grass out there too. You can go pitch a tent, maybe.
I don't know about the tent pitching here.
Oh, darn.
Because we're up against a marsh, and there is a lot of creepy crawlies back there. I'm not I'm not camping back there.
A lot of potential shoes and belts, you're saying, right?
Yeah, I just no.
Yeah,
no. A lot of mosquitoes. Oh, that's good. All right. Reen says we both have the good ideas. Miss Reen. We're packing cruise kits today, Miss Reen.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. Dawn is here. All right, everybody. I think we're good. So here's what I'm going to do. Grab some thread. Try it, right? Just the crisscross method under your foot. And Reen, that would be a good embroidery technique, although I don't know how you get the machine to stop one stitch at a time, because most don't. I wish all embroidery machines would run from the foot pedal.
Okay. Because some do, some don't. Yeah. If your embroidery machine will work with the foot pedal, probably those quilting designs, which is a straight stitch, you can watch it sew to and stop, and then twist the thread in front of it. Yeah.
I know Brother Baby Lock does not. Janome does not.
Every brand, well, every brand, and even within the brand, some models.
Models may be different, but we'll throw that out to Rain so she can figure that out. So
Yeah.
do we have the dates in July yet? We were looking at the 3rd week because that first week I'm in Alaska.
And a lot of people are doing stuff for the 4th.
The 4th, right? So it's that 3rd week, but we're gonna start making Christmas gifts.
Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff
early. But I'm, you know,
and then get the fabric in early too. That'll be nice.
I already ordered Christmas fabric.
I know it's back there
several months ago, so who knows? All right, everybody, have a terrific day because the more you know.
The more you sew.
Bye, everybody.